What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, joined by...
Gershwan.
Oh, is that Swamp Green?
Swamp Green, yep.
Oh, because of the orcs. And we're back at it, answering your questions in another episode of For the Greater... I ran out of hand signs there.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Babo did. He asks, would the Human Federation during the Dark Age of technology be stronger militarily than the Imperium, both at their peaks?
Ooh.
It's hard to say because the lore of the Dark Age of technology is not...
It's patchy.
Yeah, it's patchy. Yeah. I feel though that they weren't really a military force. I feel like they were more of a colonization type of empire. So they were expanding, and they were more about holding whatever they landed on or whatever, more so than actually going and fighting the wars like the Imperium is.
I mean, obviously, they are going to have some military might, because you can't just go somewhere and say, hey, this is mine now, and they'll be like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have some might to back up your claims.
Yeah, because they still had the knights. So like Imperial knights were around, Titans were around, but I think the Imperium right now focuses probably 90% to war. The Dark Age of technology and the human civilization... Number one, they might have not been all like
collective,
one thing. It could have been like separate organizations, and I'm like, it's probably like now we're like maybe 20-30% of the actual like interest of the organization is put towards military.
Right.
The rest is of course just technology, advancing, economy, all that good stuff.
Agriculture. Agri-worlds. That was a good question, though. Yeah. This one is by War Master Ares, Primarch of the ... Too long of a name, man. Which Loyalist Space Marine chapter has committed the most heretical acts and went on the most penance crusades within the 10,000 years that they've been around?
What would you say? Because I got my answer, and it's gonna surprise you. Click here. I would just tell you mine.
Lamenters?
No, I don't think the Lamenters.
Who do you got?
I think it would be Iron Warriors.
But I mean, they're already heretical.
No, well, no, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because they said Loyalist Space Marine chapter.
Oh, which ones have done the worst?
Yeah, that's.
That's tough. I thought you meant like which. I was just gonna say the Iron Warriors and like the whole Demon Kulaba stuff.
Right, because that's
gross.
Maybe the what are they called? Oh, the Minotaurs. I mean, they fight Space Marines. That's what they're good at. There's rumors that their Primarch is either like genetically augmented or modified or something, because whenever it seems that he dies, he comes back again. That's some like shifty stuff right there.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like there's a whole bunch of like sketchiness because they don't listen to the Inquisition or to the Emperor or anything like that. They're being led by the High Lords, and you know how they be.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. It's kind of hard to pick like a specific chapter though. All chapters at some point had to have ordered exterminatus.
Right.
So.
But I mean, I guess because your question also said, have they been on a penance crusade? I don't think they have.
The Minotaurs, no, because they're under the protection of the Inquisition. Yeah. Next question comes from Steve Verdugo. Have you guys played the new 40K video game, Relics of War? No, I haven't.
No. What is it? I haven't heard about it.
We'll check it out, I guess. Next one.
This is Irv Mueller's 9th attempt. Who would win in a game of Warhammer 40K tabletop? Guilliman versus Tzeentch. I think we've answered this before, but
we did.
We'll answer it for a second time. So Guilliman is playing the Orcs and Tzeentch is playing the Black Templars. So first of all, Guilliman playing Orcs is heretical because why would you use a Xenos race? And it's also heretical for the Thousand Sons because they're using Black Templars, and Black Templars don't like Psychers. So they're both out of their element. However, I gotta give it to Guilliman because he's a master tactician, and since he's got the might of the war-loving Orcs, I think they'll come out on top, even against the Black Templars.
Yes, I agree, because Orcs. Next question comes from Timothy Armstrong. What is it like growing up as a child between 3 major races in Warhammer 40K, and what is their schooling or teachings like between them? So what's it like growing up as an Imperial citizen? Pretty bad. Unless you were born into like a noble house or something like that, and it varies. I think the most standard though, like if you were born, it's like odds are you're just gonna be you're gonna learn how to fight, shoot a gun, and join the Imperial Guard. You said 3 major races. What's the other ones? Tau. How did Tau do it?
All they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Got money. I'm on mine. No, but there's different castes too, right?
Different castes. Pretty much where you're born in dictates what you become. Obviously, if you're born into the Fire Nation, you're taken in as a young recruit, and you got to go through the trials of fire. You fight in the training domes, and then eventually you'll either keep getting bumped up until you're a battlesuit commander, or you'll become most likely a bodyguard, or just go off into your own squad.
Do your own thing.
Squad.
And then the Eldar, you're not a child. Next question.
Andre Kroger. Are there Space Marine chapters that use animals? And what do you think about such chapters?
Yeah, Space Wolves.
Yeah, they use wolves. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Salamanders.
Oh, yeah.
They ride salamanders. There's no model for them.
Mm-mm.
And it's just like in a story.
Right. But I guess Age of Sigmar would be the best instance, because I always forget what they're called. Stormcast Eternals. They ride on like dragons, griffins, that kind of stuff. So I guess if you want to play something where you actually have animals inside of an army, that's the best option.
Yeah. So what do we think of it as a model? It looks badass. I actually saw a conversion recently of a space wolf riding on top of. It looked like an alien bear, but what they did is they took. In fantasy, they used to have those ogres. They used to ride like the mammoths.
Oh, okay.
And they converted the mammoth to make it look like some bear. It was really badass. So from a lore perspective, it's cool. It's awesome. I have no problem with like there being animals being ridden around, because it's in Star Wars when Obi-Wan Kenobi is riding that giant lizard.
Yeah, that's true.
It's cool.
Oh, also, there's this awesome conversion of like iron space wolves, and there's like the Fenrisian wolves that look like juggernauts because they've got like layers of armor, almost like a rhinoceros.
I need to check that out. I haven't seen that one.
This was like years ago, so I don't even know where it'd be now.
On Daka Daka?
Probably.
Next question comes from Alan Bouchard. What happens if a Craft World Eldar wants to go to a place that didn't have a webway? Are they SOL? Yeah, in the sense of like, if there's no webway towards that portion of the galaxy, they have to get to the nearest place and just walk.
Pretty much, yeah. Which, in their opinion, that would not be a very good move, tactically at least, because if you get attacked, you can't really escape through the webway. So. Yeah. Irkin Probe. What happens when the salamanders finally collect all the Infinity Stones? Their god, Emperor Vulcan, will return.
Basically.
Yeah. I think they got, what, 3?
They have 3,
4,
yeah.
something like that?
They have the spear, the cloak, and something else. Next question comes from Orgzempire. That's a cool name. Who do you think the Imperial Guard are the most scared to face?
The commissars.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're fighting everything else, because they're scared that the commissar's going to be like, oh, you don't want to fight? Bam.
And you might not know this, but in reality, most Imperial Guardsmen don't even know about other races. So, like, they don't really know what an orc looks like, what a demon looks like, until it's in their face. Yeah. Or,
I mean, if they're lucky, they're going to see some propaganda or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, we're fighting an unknown enemy, when they know it's like an Eldar or something like that.
Yeah. Next one.
Carpe Diem Crass. How do you guys feel about Sanguinius and or Horus returning as a greater demon of order? Or maybe as part of a new Imperial faction after the Emperor's death?
The model would be cool. Lore-wise, though, that kind of pisses me off. I've talked about this before, but if Sanguinius comes back, that's some bull.
Right. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence because, yeah, I want a Sanguinius model really, really bad. But, I mean, he's dead, and his death played a huge impact in the whole lore of 40K. I mean, the wound he inflicted on Horus was the reason why the Emperor beat Horus.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he was kind of holding back, but still. And also, they were best friends. Horus and Sanguinius, they were like buddies.
Yeah.
So it just adds more to like the turmoil, the anguish that Sanguinius was going through, fighting his best friend who had just turned, traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that all the questions?
Yeah, that's all he got. Oh, and then Horus coming back.
Oh yeah, that's stupid because like the Emperor specifically stated that he burnt like his existence.
Yeah.
So if he comes back, it's just like, oh, okay, you guys are gonna do whatever you want with the Lord. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, I mean they kind of did bring him back when they cloned him, but I mean it was an incomplete thing. It's not like it was Horus himself.
Right. Next question comes from I'm So Bored. Attempt number 2. What is the biggest victory the Eldars have had over the Imperium? Just their existence.
Yeah, I guess. Because, I mean, when you really look at things, if the Imperium actually unifies and acts as a singular force, they can take down pretty much any threat, I think. And the reason why they haven't, I don't know, like, why spread yourselves thin over the entire Imperium when you just say, hey, let's go knock out all the Tau, or let's go knock out all the Eldar? I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I guess at the same time, if you're focusing all your attention on one point, everything else will come and get them too.
Go creep.
Creep.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, just comment down below. Because, we answer them.
Yeah, don't forget to put a question in front of your question because we get to those first. Because there were some really good questions on there, but you didn't put question in front of the question, so we got a good question.
Yes.
Right.
And that is it for today.
I am Sun Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out of here.